Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Movie Social. We're your hosts, Ricky and Steph.
What up, what up, what up?
Today's episode, we're going to be doing a spoiler review of the new Netflix original movie, The Trial of the Chicago 7. And yes, this is based off of true events. Now, if you like the channel and you like what we're doing here with these reviews for movies, video games, TV shows, and anime, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, turn on those notifications, share with your family and friends, and let us know what you guys think about us in the comments below. And Stephen, what did you think about this movie? Your reaction to it?
It pulled on my heartstrings, man. During this movie, I was literally texting Rick, like, yo, this is making me mad. I don't like this person in this movie. This person acting is getting to me. This is crazy. Like, the entire movie is indeed based on true events. But, yo, man, like, our justice system sucks so bad.
Oh, it still sucks. It sucked then in the 60s, and it sucks now.
And it just blew my mind on how bad things were. And man, we need change, man. This movie brought a lot of light to certain situations, and it was a great movie, great acting stuff. Star-studded cast. It was very, 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 very well written and played. Man, enjoyed the movie 1,000%.
Okay, yeah, I definitely would agree. It was definitely a phenomenal movie. It really shed light for those that might have ever heard of the Chicago 7 and the events that occurred around the Democratic National Convention and all. Whew. I still, to this day, never understood the need for riot gear, because the only time there's ever a riot is when the police deem it being a riot, a peaceful protest against injustice. It's like whenever you buck against the justice system for doing wrong, it's considered a riot, not part of your constitutional rights, apparently. But that was definitely on display in this movie, and it really, for someone that initially started out wanting to be a lawyer, yeah, seeing how the way the judge portrayed himself and carried himself, like anybody in their right mind would have moved this judge from this case or immediately, because the judge wasn't even mentally fit to stand as a judge for any case ever. But not only that, the whole case, how it was railroaded to make a statement for no reason, just a political statement, just because the case had no bearings, no nothing. And then the treatment of the leader of the Black Panther organization, or as they want to say, chairman of the Black Panther organization, the way they treated him was just horrible, especially towards the one scene that I will get into a little bit later. But overall, blood boiling is my biggest reaction. Anger, biggest reaction. But it's had some sad moments too. What do you think as far as your favorite and least favorite moment?
Well, my least favorite moment, let's get into that really quickly, is how this judge, the entire movie was, I mean, granted, the guy was only playing a role, but the real life judge his actions are unexcusable, man.
He should have been put in jail, if you ask me.
The way he was denying counsel, the way he was not letting people literally demonstrate their constitutional rights, the way he was blocking witnesses for his own gain.
And because he didn't put out any legal.
The way the FBI made it seem like the Black Panthers sent a.
I don't even think that was the FBI. I think that was the actual Justice Department themselves.
Well, yeah, sending the threatening messages to jury 6 and 11, which they knew were going to vote not guilty.
It would have been an acquittal case.
Yeah, and like which is ridiculous. Like him and like him having his hands all over this case.
And the judge is never
Oof,
supposed to be putting
oof,
their fingerprints
man,
all over a case ever.
exactly. Then you have my favorite part was literally the Yippies. Their whole role in this, like being smarter than what a lot of people thought they were, and literally like when he that whole scene when he took the stand and he like first of all he was like, hey, yeah, my name is such and such, not the same as it. Like that whole scene when he took the stand was powerful, and it was very impactful to how I felt about the case, and how I seen the character portray the gentleman that he played was very, very great. I enjoyed that entire scene in entirety.
Okay. So I have a twofold for my favorite and least favorite. It's both the same in the same sequence of events. My least favorite would be when they tied, well, chained and gagged Bobby after beating him just because he would not say quietly because the judge would not give him his due process and rights to be able to one represent himself after multiple attempts to get a continuance for the trial because his lawyer had just had surgery and could not make it in time. And then on top of that, after all that, having a friend helping him out with his case, then going to say, oh, "Is that your lawyer?" And so it just started boiling up. And then after all of that, his friend being executed because they tried to say he was murdered in the raid. No, executed. Just like they dropped bombs on the movements of Black Lives
Mm-hmm.
before. This one, same thing. And then he had enough. It just was a breaking point because the judge should have been removed before all that happened. It should have been removed when he tried to do the name corrections and all. But you telling them to take him back to give him what he deserves, like no judge is ever supposed to talk like that.
Exactly.
And it was on camera, and nobody said anything or did anything right then and there to remove this judge. And they take him in the back, beat him, and all that. You can see he was beaten. Come back gagged and chained, and then handcuffing him and chaining him to the chair. Really? And then going to tell him he has to nod his head, yeah, up and down or left and right. Like, no, he has, unless he's physically not able to talk because of some medical reason, he has a right to talk in a court case. A defendant can actually talk with a lawyer present or not. And I'm like, this judge is blatantly disregarding any statutes of law and slapping a face on any judge ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then my favorite part, which was a part of that whole scene, was at the end when they did all rise. Most people did not rise, except for one defendant, which was kind of making me mad. Eventually, though, he got himself together, though, in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be my favorite and least favorite scene. But I do have a sub B for favorite scene when the former attorney general took the stand and basically sung like a canary about everything,
Mm-hmm.
and even was correcting the judge. And even before that, when they met him at his home, and he gave his reason why he wanted the acting attorney general's people there, so he could actually tell it to their face and see their reaction of when he said, "Yeah, go ahead and subpoena me. I would like to be there. When do
Mm-hmm.
you want me in court?" It was great
It
to at
was.
least show that some people actually had common sense and common decency to respect people's rights and not just see things the way that they want to see it.
Agreed, man.
So, would you recommend this movie for anyone?
Definitely recommend it. This was one of the better Netflix movies I've seen this year. And we've watched a lot. We watched a lot of Netflix movies this
And
year.
we still got a lot more to come.
Yeah, and this is definitely something that I would indeed recommend. It was a great movie, great cast, great acting, just great all around. So definitely will recommend it.
Okay, definitely. I definitely would recommend it. I mean, it's history. Movies like this should be played in schools for people to learn history instead of these old, drawn out movies from the 50s and 60s. Now, yes, some of those are historical and needed, but when we have more modern movies that draw on emotion the way these things do, they should be played. But I understand the government doesn't like to admit their mistakes ever, which happens a whole lot that they need to make mistakes for. Maybe we need to correct that first before having these problems keep happening. Who knows? But definitely recommend watching it. It's historical moments. It's a heartstring pulling movie. It's definitely very emotional and it will make your blood boil to the points where you might not have thought it could go. And it's even got some comical moments, especially when they mock the judge constantly just to tick him off because of how much of an mean and unjust person he was.
Yep.
Especially when they came in with robes like him, and then they made him take off the robes, and they had on police uniforms up under of the Chicago police. Wow, amazing! But let us know in the comments below what you think of this movie. How accurate, for those that are history buffs, did they get it? Uh, did you enjoy the acting, the cast, everything? And on a side note, I feel bad for Jason Gordon-Levitt, the role that he played as being the prosecutor, and I felt bad, and almost bad for the actual prosecutor because you could see there was moments where he wanted to just say, "Forget this, get my job out." They did nothing wrong. I mean, he said it multiple times to his colleagues, but
They didn't care.
yeah. And even at the end, I appreciate it when he actually stood and clapped. Well, I'm sorry, not clapped, but stood when they were reading all the names of the foreign veterans that died during the Vietnam War, even though his boss didn't want to and had a problem with it and left. I'm like, you're honoring those that are fallen heroes.
He even said that. He said that exact same line.
And it was just a phenomenal movie altogether. Definitely should check it out. It's out now. It came out yesterday on Amazon, on Netflix. Let us know in the comments below what you guys think. Until next time.